Hello. I am my master's cat, and I decided to do a video while he's away. He said, be good or be good at it. Well, I'm going to be both. I watched him. I come up and watch him punch on the keys on the computer, and I've learned a lot. And I know what he does on his computer, don't you know? Yes, I've listened to him do all his stories on here. And I'm going to give you a story now. All I have to do is find one. Wait, give me a moment. Let me open up a new page. I'm live. I did something wrong. I got to mute this on the page I'm watching it on. I'm live on here, you know. And I am the cat's Meow. And I'm broadcasting. Let me find his channel that he normally goes to. I can find one here. I think it's called rinse.com. I'm going there now. Let's see. Oh, he has many cool things on Rinse. Let me do something here. Time is of the essence at disastrous Hanford nuclear site. Wow. Well, I guess we're going to get radiated. I didn't know this. BBC Sunday show on Bilderberg, full version, with Alex Jones as guest. I'm just gotta scratch myself. Master's not here to do it for me. Okay. Obama death drone kills 5 more in Yemen. Missile defense killer. Russia finalizes test on prototype. I gotta move those off. I gotta scratch. Anyways, former CIA worker admits leaking NSA documents. NASA, the secret AT&T spy room, and second Israel companies. Yes, there's second Israel companies involved. Let us look at this. From John Rappaport's blog. NSA, the secret AT&T spy room, and second Israel's company. NSA, the secret AT&T spy room, second Israel's company, and loss of American privacy, by John Rappaport, June 9th, 2013. No More Fake News is the website. Boom. Explosive revelations. The NSA is using telecom giants to spy on anybody and everybody in a program called Primus or Prism, but the information is not new. 3 books have been written about the super secret NASA, and James Bamford has written them all. In 2008, Amy Goodman of Democracy Now! Interviewed Bamford as his latest book, The Shadow Factory, was being released. Don't you know? Don't you see what's going on here? You're apparently not paying attention if you're not paying attention to me. The cat. The cat knows all. Don't you know? Meow. uh, let's go back to the article. Bamford explained that in the 1990s, everything changed from NSA, or for NSA. Previously, they have been able to interpret electronic communications by using big dishes to capture what was coming down to Earth from telecom satellites. But with the shift to fiber optics cable, NSA was shut out. So they devised a new method. For example, they set up a secret spy room at an AT&T office in San Francisco. NSA installed new equipment that enabled them to tap into the fiber optic cables and suck up all traffic. How Bamford described this in 2008 tells you exactly where the PRISM program came from. NSA without the second A, National Security Agency, began making these agreements with AT&T and other companies, and that in order to get across to the actual cable, they had to build these secret rooms in these buildings. So what would happen would be that the communications on the cables would become into the building, and then the cable would go to this thing called a splitter box. Sounds like my cat box, which was a box that had something that was similar to a prism, a glass prism. Pretty lights. And the prism would shape like a and the prism was shaped like the prism, and the light signals would come in and they would be split by the prism, and one copy of the light signal would go off to where it was supposed to be going in the telecom system, and the other half, this new clone copy of the cables, would actually go one floor below to NSA's secret room. And the secret room was equipped by a private company called NARIS, a very small company, hardly anybody ever heard of them, that created the hardware and software to analyze these cables and then pick them out of targets that NSA is looking for, and then forward the targeted communications into NSA headquarters. James Bamford's 2008 interview, he mentioned two Israeli companies, NARIS and Verment, I guess. I keep seeing Verment. Tasty Verment. Mice. That almost nobody knew about. They played a key role in the developing the selling of technology that allowed NSA to deploy its PRISM spying program. Bamford, yeah, there's two major, or not major, they are small companies, but they service the two major telecom companies. This company, NARIS, which was founded by Israel, has large Israel connections, does the Verizon chose another name, does basically the tapping communications on AT&T and Verizon, chose another company, ironically, also founded in Israel and largely controlled by developed by people in Israel called Verment. Mice keep getting on my mind. Makes me mess up reading this. Mice. So these two companies specialize in what is known as mass surveillance. Their literature, I read this literature from Verment, Mice. For example, is supposed to only go to intelligence agencies and so forth and says, we specialize in mass surveillance, and that's what they do. They put this mass surveillance equipment in these facilities so you have AT&T, for example, that considers its job to be to get messages from one person to another. Mice. I'm so thinking of these mice running around. It's their job to get the message from one person to another, not tapping into a message and you get NSA. That's another. We want to know copies of all this. So that's where these two Israeli companies come in. These companies act as intermediary, basically, between the telecom companies and the NSA. Amy Goodman. Now, Jim Bradford take this a step further, because you say the founder of the former COL or CEO, there, mice on my mind. You know what it is to be a cat. One of these companies, Virent, is now a fugitive from the United States somewhere in Africa. Oh yeah. James Bradford, the company that Verizon uses, mice, Virent, the founder of the company and former head of the company, is now a fugitive and hiding in Africa in the country of Namibia, because he wanted a number of felony warrants for fraud and other charges. And then two other top executives of the company, and General Counsel, mice, and others, top officials of the parent company, have also pled guilty to these charges. So you've got companies, these two companies have foreign connections with potential ties to foreign intelligence agencies, and that you have problem of credibility, problem of honesty, and all that. And these companies, although these two companies pass probably 80% or most of U.S. communications at one point or another, mice, the matrix of mice, and gets even worse in the fact that these companies also supply their equipment all around the world to other countries, to countries that do not have a lot of respect for the individual rights. Vietnam, China, Libya, and other countries like that. And so these countries use this equipment to filter out dissident communications and people trying to protest the government. It gives them the ability to eavesdrop on communications and monitor dissident and email communications, and as a result of that, people are put in jail and so forth. Amy Goodman. And despite all this, these telecom companies still have access to the most private communications of people over America, and actually it ends up around the world. And at the beginning of the summer of 2008, Democrats and Republicans joined together in granting retroactive immunity to these companies for spying on the American citizens. The fugitive CEO of Virent, Virent, who Bradford mentions, is Jacob Kobe, Big Mouse Alexander. In 2006, the U.S. Department of Justice charged him with conspiring to commit securities and wire and mail fraud. This SEC weighed in and filed similar civil charges. The Big Mouse Alexander fled to Namibia, where he's now a big mouse, where he finally settled with the SEC for $46 million. The Department of Justice criminal complaint, as far as I can tell, still stands. Alexander the big rat, continues, tasty, continues to fight against extradition to the U.S. He is no longer a CEO of the rest of the rats. Virulent. It's obvious that these two Israeli companies, Naris, sounds like a bigger rat, and Virulent, working for the NSA, have been able to duplicate megatons of data to Israeli intelligence. The recent media stories on this NSA PRISM spying system indicates that NSA is tapping into several huge tech companies: Google, AOL, Microsoft, Skype, Apple, Yahoo, YouTube. The methods of data theft may have expanded, but the result of the intent remains the same. The government corporate juggernauts moved ahead. Their rationale, catching terrorists, is in great part a cover story to obscure the fact that the state wants to control over all lives of all citizens. It ratchets up the very conditions and then provokes rebellion. It's a classic pincher movement. Don't you know? Not paying attention, are you? Oh, this article, this goes on and on about it. It's all about NSA stealing your data, stealing ideals, and making money before you can. It's theft, is what it comes out to. And there's several videos on here. I'll put this as a link on this video, just so you can actually read the whole thing. I'm copying the link now. Meow. So you can see it. Don't you see what's going on? Don't you understand? Are you paying attention? What's wrong with you? Pay attention. The cat tells you to. Meow. 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 I'm telling you, pay attention. For being stupid, ignorant, little mice. I'll eat you when I'm done with them, the big rats. I'll eat you, little mice. Put you out of your misery. Meow. Don't you see what's going on? It's part of the whole problem. You're not paying attention again. Wake up and you're fluoride. Hell, my master doesn't give me fluoride water. He gives me pure water. He gives me pure food. He gives me science diet. A lot better cat food than the normal cat chow. Now. I'm gonna start ranting here. You're gonna make me rant. Cats don't rant. We meow. We go meow. See? I don't know what you're waiting for. Wake up. Wake up. It's the cat's meow. Cats are smarter than most humans. That's a scary thought, isn't it? That we know more than you do? That you're not paying attention? You're not going against the enemy of your country, your fellow alley cats. That's what they are. You got alley cats running your country. What's wrong with you letting alley cats run your country? You got to be sick in the head to allow that. I want you to go out. I want you to get off your chairs. I want you to go to your windows. I want you to open them up and yell, "I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore. Meow!" I want you to meow out the window. Because if you don't, we're going to lose this country. We're going to lose it all. From the cat's meow to the future of your kind. Now, get up, fight it, and make it so.